We're very, very excited to have you here. Thank you for taking your time this morning. I'm Terry Johns from the United Way of Inner Wisconsin. We are thrilled to have so many people here who care so deeply about the communities that we serve. United Way of Inner Wisconsin serves Southwood and Adams counties. And the work that our partner programs do and other nonprofit agencies in our communities would not be possible without volunteers. Volunteers have such a great value to our organizations and to our communities. We can't even really put words on it, but this is our attempt, is to invite you here this morning and thank you for the hard work that you're doing. So if you are a nominee, if you nominated someone, if you are just here as a volunteer, I thank you. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce Pastor Jake Close. He will be coming up to lead us in prayer. Jake is the pastor emeritus at First Congregational Church. Jake?
What an inspiration it is to be here in front of so many people who deserve so much honor, and to be with those who have nominated those who deserve the honors. As a minister, I was frequently called to mind just exactly what volunteers do. And so I know many of you are on boards and committees in your community, whether it's Southwood or Adams County. You make the community. And I want you, as I pray, to give thanks for one another and for all those who are not here, who are volunteers. So let us give thanks then. Gracious God, you have lovingly provided us with many gifts through the efforts of this magnificent gathering. They have made our community what it is. They have been an inspiration for those who serve around them. Whether they are young, as in high school volunteers, or whether they are more of my generation, those who still care deeply about their community and are passionate about what they do. We give you thanks for them all, O God, for this food that has nourished us and strengthened us for the journey ahead. May you continue to guide, strengthen, and bless those efforts of these many folks. All this we ask in your name. Amen.
Good morning. Thank you, Pastor Close, for that wonderful prayer. Greetings. My name is Angie Louts, and I'm the coordinator at the United Way of Inner Wisconsin's Volunteer Center. At the Volunteer Center, we are always excited this time of year. There is so much going on that I would like to share with you. Of course, the first thing I'd like to tell you about is that this week is National Volunteer Week. From now until April 21st, we will be promoting volunteerism, recruiting volunteers, and thanking volunteers. We are encouraging people to visit our website, volunteerinnerwisc.org, to see the different volunteer opportunities that are in our communities. There are also a number of one-time volunteer opportunities for folks who just want to get their feet wet and decide to move on to bigger things. This week we're recruiting volunteers to help clean up a number of parks, bike trails, and highways. Please contact the Volunteer Center if you are interested. Our contact information is printed on the cover of your program. I also want to invite all the volunteer coordinators out there to an exciting new group that we've created, the Volunteer Coordinators of Inner Wisconsin. This group will meet twice a year to talk about issues that affect you, such as volunteer recruitment, retention, trainings, and more. The group is free and open to all volunteer coordinators. This is an excellent opportunity to network with others who face the same issues that you do. I think you'll realize that we all have a lot in common and can learn from one another. If you have any questions about what the Volunteer Center can do for you as a volunteer or as a nonprofit organization, please feel free to give me a call. I'm always glad to talk and answer your questions. Now, I'd like to introduce, for one of her final acts as mayor of Wisconsin Rapids, Mary Jo Carson, as she proclaims this week National Volunteer Week in Southwood and Anson.
Good morning. I want to thank all of you because you've put up with me for 6 of these breakfasts, if that's such a word. I appreciate that very much, and I also appreciate what you do for this community. I've worked with so many of you over the years, and I look forward to finding my volunteer niche now that tomorrow morning I'll wake up and find out that I have my life again to give back to this community in a different way. So I would like to share with you some of the information that you probably don't know about the City of Wisconsin Rapids. We utilize volunteers for many tasks as well as many other organizations. Our Parks and Rec Department relies on volunteers to clean debris out of our local parks, bike trails and highways, and to provide sporting programs for our local children and youth. You know, one of the greatest joys I ever had while I was mayor was getting the good old Raptors here. So I think that that's a business, but we do use volunteers there as well to help them out with Winter Field. Volunteers from River City's Community Access, which Angie's hubby runs, Tom, the City of Wisconsin Rapids Cable Access Channel are also present videotaping today, and I thank them for that because I know a lot of people like to see who wins, because that's the point of today. Volunteers help make this community a wonderful place to live and work, and I'm so pleased you're all here today to listen to each other and learn from each other's projects. I hope you will be very kind to the new mayor, who I'm sure you'll fall in love with. He's a wonderful young man, and I thank you for all you've done for this community. And Angie, if you would, please come up here, or Gary, or both. No, we're not going to do both. Every year we do a proclamation, and it's really important because I think Angie's got this on the wall somewhere at United Way, and the proclamation reads as follows. Proclamation, inspired by example. I, Mayor Mary Jo Carson, hereby proclaim April 15th through the 21st, 2012 as National Volunteer Week in Southwood County and Adams County. I urge my fellow citizens to join the volunteer effort in our communities by volunteering and recognizing those who serve. Volunteering promotes fellowship and unity and increases community awareness. Please join us during National Volunteer Week to celebrate Inspired by Example. Congratulations. We're trying to fill this. There we go.
Each year, volunteers are playing a larger role in local nonprofit organizations. The economy is slowly recovering, but still impacting agencies who help people who are struggling. I'd like to introduce to you this morning Roger Harris. Roger, you come forward. Roger is the executive director, we'll say co-executive director, his wife Kathleen is very active as well, of Jeremiah's Crossing, which provides equine-assisted therapy to individuals with physical, cognitive, emotional, and other special needs. Jeremiah's Crossing utilizes volunteers for many aspects of their organization, from event planning to cleanup, cleaning away brush from riding trails, and helping with riding lessons. And they also will be looking for some volunteers, as I learned at my table, to help them with their capital campaign. So if you're a strong fundraiser, they're looking to, I think Roger will be talking about this a little bit, but looking to build an indoor riding arena so that these lessons can take place throughout the entire year. So please help me welcome Roger Harris.
Good morning. Thank you all very much for having me here. Terry, thank you. First thing I'd like to say is I want to congratulate all the volunteers that are here. You folks make a difference that you may never understand for those that you serve. And I know that our volunteers have told us many, many, many times, you know, we get a lot more out of it than what we give. And I know that that's true. When Kathleen and I ventured into this thing, God said, you know, we're going to have you start a ranch. And we said, cool, we like horses. We had no idea what that was going to involve. 2008, fall of 2008, we opened officially. And we had 13 riders and 13 volunteers. And we thought, wow, this is really cool. It's going to be great. This past summer, we had 70 riders and 68 volunteers that just served with lessons and things. They put in over 1,800 hours in the summer and fall session. We absolutely could not do what happens at Jeremiah's Crossing without volunteers. You guys are our lifeblood. There's just absolutely no doubt about it. And that doesn't count the volunteers that came out and did special events and all those kinds of things, and then that's a countless number of more hours. It's been an incredible journey. Our volunteers do, as Terry said, thank you, by the way, for taking half of my speech. It saves me a little time. Wayne Johnson used to do that to me all the time. We'd get up to speak at the school district, and he'd say half of my speech for me, and I would cut it real short. I like that. But our volunteers do a little bit of everything. They lead horses. They serve as sidewalkers for our horses. They'll clean up. They'll brush trails. They'll put up fences. This is a ground that is converting from an old hunting ground to a ranch, and so we're clearing for pastures, and you know, probably 98% of everything that's been done has been done by volunteers. So for that, we thank you immensely. Wow, covering all my points really fast here. Modern Woodman's had a contest just a short while ago, as they do every year. And they have students write an essay. And this particular year, the essay was to be, what was the time in our nation's history when volunteers were most important? And at Jeremiah's Crossing, we think that's now. Because we couldn't possibly do, and we know that all the other organizations that are represented in our committee, in our community, couldn't possibly do what we do without all of you. So for that, we thank you. We congratulate you for everything that you do. Terry mentioned earlier that we are in the process of trying to raise the funds to put up an indoor arena and barn. Because right now everything that we do is outside, subject to the weather. And that 1,800 hours that I talked about, those volunteers were prepared to put in close to 3,400 hours last summer if the weather hadn't stopped us. So it's an important thing. If y'all got nothing to do, we'd be looking for some help raising the funds for that. Terry, thank you very much for having us up here today. And again, thank you all for everything that you do for all of our community organizations. God bless you all.
Thank you, Roger. Did you know that in 2011, our community saw a total of 163,106 volunteer hours, and those are just the hours that we were that were tracked, that we're aware of. So I'm sure that there was more than that, but that's a huge number of hours and a huge commitment. And the most recent study has shown that the value of a volunteer is $21.36 an hour. So when you volunteer for a nonprofit, even if you can only do 1 hour a week or 1 hour a month, or maybe you volunteer every day, whatever it is, each amount of time that you give makes a significant impact. And so again, thank you for that. We have a large variety of volunteers in our room today, and we've been doing this, 21 years. So for the last 20 years, we've asked you to stand when we call your organization. We're not going to have you stand today, we'll just have you raise your hand. So when your organization is called, if you would just wave your arms, and everybody can look around the room and get a feel for who's in the room today. But these are all of the agencies that are represented here today. Aging and Disability Resource Center, Alexander Middle School, American Cancer Society, American Legion, Backpacks for Kids. We got a busy guy back there already. Big Brothers Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club of the Wisconsin Rapids area, Children's Miracle Network, Community Care Day, Day of Caring Youth Advisory Committee, the Eagles Club, East Ambassadors Stop Distracted Driving, Elks Club, Faith in Action of Adams County, Heart of Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce, Home Delivered Meals, Honor Guard, Howe Elementary Student Leadership Club, Humke Elementary School, Emmanuel Lutheran School, Jeremiah's Crossing, Junior Achievement, Key Club, King Veterans Home, Lincoln High School, Marshfield Clinic AmeriCorps members, Mead School, Mead Elementary Charter School, Ministry Home Care Hospice, Nakusa Schools, Night in Bethlehem Live Christmas Performance, ODC, Park Place, River Cities Community Access, Riverview Medical Center, Rudolph Elementary School, Salvation Army, Share, Silver Bells and Bows Chorus, Southwood County Humane Society, Southwood County Emergency Pantry Shelf, Special Olympics, St. Luke's Church, Strawberry Lane Nursing Home, the Family Center, the Neighborhood Table, Trinity Lutheran Church of Adams, United Methodist Church, United Way of Inner Wisconsin, VFW, Villa Pines Living Center, Wisconsin Extreme Special Needs Cheer and Stunt Team, Wisconsin Rapids Community Choir. Wow, there's a lot of busy people. Now, is there anybody that we didn't call? Is there any organization we didn't call?
Vesper Community.
Vesper Community Academy. Anybody else? Wow, there's a lot of really busy people in the room. I saw many people raise their hand even more than once. So thank you very much. How about a round of applause for all of our volunteers? Okay, now we're going to move forward to recognize the nominees. This is the award presentation for this morning. It is my pleasure to introduce this morning Kevin Hendershot from Opportunity Development Center, or ODC. ODC is a nonprofit vocational service agency providing employment assistance to adults with disabilities or other barriers to employment. Kevin is no stranger to volunteers or volunteering. ODC uses a variety of different volunteers, from assisting employees with job completion to helping employees with life skills, playing games with employees on their lunch hour. Kevin is also a volunteer himself, from being a chef during Family Center's Men in the Kitchen and to volunteering for United Way. Please help me welcome Kevin Hendershot.
Thank you, Terry. Good morning to everybody. How's everybody doing today? I think the first thing I wanted to start out with is sometimes I get so busy, or we as individuals get so busy, we have work, we have families, and we're really focused on our jobs. And sometimes we don't pay attention to things that are going on around us. After I got the script from Angie, I was reading over all these nominees, and I was so impressed that that I had to open my eyes a little wider and take a look at the community that I live in. Just by reading over some of these nominees, I was so impressed and so proud to say that I'm a member of the community of Wisconsin Rapids, and looking at all these different agencies that put forth so much effort, and all these people who volunteer their time. So I just wanted to share that with you before we get started here, okay? I'm going to spend just a moment to explain how the award recipients are selected and the process behind it.
Kevin, excuse me, I'm sorry. We can't hear you in the back,
Oh.
so maybe you have to hold it. You're a little taller than the rest
I'm
of
a
us.
little bit I don't have anything I could get at my knees with, so I'm going to lean forward a little bit. They always tell me to stand up nice and straight, but I'm going to slouch a little
Or you
bit.
can pull it out if you want to hold it. Whichever.
Oh.
It comes out. Is the hand?
Oh,
The whole thing.
There you go.
okay, here we go.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to spend a moment just to explain how the award recipients are selected and the process behind it. There are 4 categories for the Outstanding Volunteer Awards. We're going to be talking with youth individual, youth group, adult individual, and adult group. After the deadline for nominations has passed, packets with all the award applicants are created and delivered to the award selection committee. This special committee is made of community volunteers and volunteer coordinators. They review the award applications, then meet to compare notes and make their final decisions. If we could have the members of the award selection committee please stand so we can acknowledge. Thank you for serving on the committee, and I certainly don't envy the hard decision you guys had to make after reading through all of these. In the award applications, the nominees need to show the impact they've made on within the following criteria: need, action, initiative, achievement, impact, time, and challenge. I think you will all agree that all the nominees fit these criteria and that they are all truly winners. Let's have a round of applause for all the nominees. Well, let's get started with the fun stuff. As I read the name of each nominee, could you please come forward to receive your certificate? Photos that are taken today, excuse me, photos that are taken today can be reviewed on the United Way of Inner Wisconsin's Flickr page. A link will be posted on their website at www.uwiw.org. Also, please remain at the front until all the nominees in your category has been announced. The first area we're going to look at is the youth individual nominees. Tyler Arndt, if you could come up. Tyler is a student at Lincoln High School. He volunteers for the Wisconsin Extreme Dream Team, a special needs cheer and stunts team. He volunteers for St. Luke's Church, the Lincoln High School Summer School Program, and raises money for the Special Olympics during the polar plunge. He also helps a fellow student with health conditions. Our next nominee is Ariana De La Salas. Ariana is a student at Lincoln High School and over the years has raised $3,500 for the Southwood County Humane Society by asking friends and family for monetary donations instead of birthday gifts. She also volunteers at Riverview Hospital Center, runs concession stands during basketball games, and is a former president of the Key Club. Our next nominee is Lindsay Fife. Lindsay was on the 2011 Day of Caring Youth Advisory Committee, where she organized a food drive at a local grocery store. She raised over $100 cash and 2 truckloads of food for sweeps. Lindsay has over 650 hours of community service, works a part-time job, maintains a 4.0 GPA, and also participates in several extracurricular activities. And for our reward, the recipient of the 2012 Outstanding Youth Individual Volunteer Award is Lindsay Fife. I think we have someone coming up to represent. All right. We're going to move on. Next is the youth group nominees. Backpack for Kids. Backpack for Kids helps families in need of food on the weekends in the Coosa School District. These volunteers fill empty backpacks with non-perishable food items and drop them off at the school so students and their families who have no food at home during the weekends don't go hungry. The backpacks are used to preserve confidentiality. Our next nominee is East Ambassadors Stop Distracted Driving. This group at East Junior High educates their peers about the dangers of distracted driving by organizing assemblies for all 9th graders. They have also educated parents with signs and writing articles in the parent newsletter. They also work with the Wisconsin Rapids Police Department and City Council to pass an ordinance banning cell phone use in the city of Wisconsin Rapids while driving. Our next nominee is Howell Elementary Student Leadership Club. This group visits residents at Renaissance Assisted Living Center, raised money for the neighborhood table, and partnered with Woodlands Church and House School staff to give the school an extreme makeover, including new landscaping and painting. They also presented a series of skits on bullying. Our next nominee is Lincoln High School Student Council. This group held food drives for sweeps and raised funds for the Elks Club Christmas Basket Program and the Community Candles Program. They raked leaves on Day of Caring and helped school supply drives for Stuff the School Bus. They also hosted a meal for the neighborhood table, participated in a campus cleanup on Earth Day and locker cleanup on the last day of school. They also went caroling at Renaissance Assisted Living Center and raised money during the Special Olympics Polar Plunge. Our next, well, we're getting a full room up here, aren't we? Our next nominee is the Margarita Ashley team for the neighborhood table. Margarita Ribayadu and Ashley Feltz are ninth graders at East Junior High School. They volunteer for the neighborhood table. They wash and set up tables, pack carry-out meals, serve food, prepare desserts, set up beverage tables, and clean floors. Our next nominee, the Schmeckle Morgan sisters, Schmeckle, excuse me. Tamika, Tanisha, Tia, and Tesla come to Jeremiah's Crossing originally as clients. The sisters quickly discovered that volunteers were needed and started to pitch in. They fill in where volunteers are needed to help with clients and also raise money for the annual Pony Express Ride-a-thon. Now on to our winner. The recipient of the 2012 Outstanding Volunteer Youth Group Award is Backpack for Kids. Logan's a little nervous, but he's going to say a couple of words.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to move on to adult individual nominees. Our first nominee is Robert Klingworth Sr. Come on up. Roger is the director of the Silver Bells and Bows choirs through the Lowell Center. Robert is a former Lincoln High School music director. The chorus group meets monthly from September to May and performs at nursing homes, assisted living facility, and churches. Robert also participates in the Wisconsin Rapids Community Choir. Our next nominee is Kathy Daly. Kathy spearheads an effort to establish a snack program at the Boys and Girls Club of Wisconsin Rapids area. During a tour of the facility, her group was concerned to see children purchasing snacks from the vending machines. Kathy recruited over 100 volunteers to provide snacks to the children each day. Our next nominee is Linda Durand. Linda volunteers for the Ministry Home Care Hospice Program as an office and clerical assistant. Ministry Home Care provides support for people in the final phase of a terminal illness. Linda volunteers 4 to 5 hours weekly in the office by assembling binders and coordinating bereavement mailings with other volunteers. Over 1,500 bereavement materials are mailed monthly to families. Our next nominee is Amy Fuller. Amy volunteers at Rudolph Elementary School as a tutor and on the governance council. She tutors a good portion of the school day, almost on a daily basis, focusing on reading, writing, and math. She works with the students in any area they show a need. She can also be counted on for any of the extra things that happen in the daily operations. Our next nominee is Gordon Harmon. Gordon Gordon is an 82 years young and has a long list of organizations that he volunteers for. He drives local vets to the Veterans Hospital in Madison and Toma. He initiated sometimes several times per week at his own expense. He initiated a Valentine's Day dinner at the VFW, is a Relief Honor Guard commander, and visits the Veterans Home in Keene, where he delivers donations for residents and the homeless. He has volunteered for his church for 56 years. He has volunteered for the American Cancer Society Walk for 10 years. He has also been active in the Eagles Club for 51 years. Our next nominee is Paul Jeltema. Paul has received 2 nominations this year. He volunteers at Humke Elementary School. Twice a week he helps with activities, reading to the children, and helps those who are struggling. Paul also volunteers at his church, Christian Life Fellowship, and even started a Sunday school class for students with special needs called Special Hearts Ministry. During the summer and fall, he volunteers at Jeremiah's Crossing by helping out with lessons, caring for the horses, and helps with fundraising events. I think they're going to have you busy this summer, aren't they? Our next nominee is Ned Kubishak. Ned volunteers at Emmanuel Lutheran School. He helps out on maintenance night for school fundraisers and as a soccer and basketball coach. As a volunteer coach, he is a positive role model, helps improve the students' self-esteem, and helps develop them to become positive leaders in the school and in the community. Our next nominee is Dennis Nelson. Dennis volunteers at Vesper Community Academy as a governance council chairperson and volunteer coordinator. He created and maintains the school's website, brings in volunteers to support student programming, offers his technology expertise, designs professional marketing tools, sets and facilitates after-school enrichments, and works to make the school garden a learning platform for the students. Our next nominee is Carol Fanning. Carol volunteers her time at the Mead Elementary Charter School. She also juggles volunteer work at her church and being a mother of 3. At Mead School, she is the treasurer of the Parent-Teacher Committee and secretary of the Governing Council. She also volunteers for school projects such as the school yearbook. Our next nominee is Gail Brzezinski. Gail volunteers for Park Place Adult Day Services. Park Place is a supervised day program for dependent adults suffering from dementia, providing daily activities and socialization. Gail helps serve lunch, socializes with the patients, plays games, and assists them to their vehicles. Okay, our next nominee is Patrick Brzezinski. Patrick volunteers at Alexander Middle School in Nakusa. Often he comes into the school 3 times a day. He is there in the mornings for tutoring and comes back again mid-morning to help with 7th grade teaching time. Patrick initiated a Nakusa Chess Club team that is open to students 6th to 12th grade. He also helps out at the community basketball program, offering open clinics for 2 to 3 hours a day. Our next nominee is Dick Spurs. Dick volunteers his time at River City Community Access, the City of Wisconsin Rapids Cable Access channel. Dick's sports footage can be viewed several times a week. On average, he videotapes 2 to 3 sporting events per week during sports season. He recruits volunteers to do commentary of each game. He also videotapes other events when needed, such as school music concerts. Our next nominee, Donna Turkany. Donna is a very active volunteer in Adams County. She is president of Faith in Action of Adams County, a nonprofit that provides in-home services and transportation to the local elderly and disabled through trained volunteers. She volunteers at her church, Trinity Lutheran of Adams, and is a committee member of the live Christmas performance called A Night in Bethlehem at Philippines Living Center. She organizes a monthly bird program. The recipient of the 2012 Outstanding Adult Individual Volunteer Award is Gordon Hartman.
I'd like to thank everybody that voted for me, and you know, when you live by yourself for over 8 years, my wife passed away, you gotta do something. You can't stay home all the time. So, thank you again.
I gotta say one other thing. I volunteered for the United States Navy in 1943.
All right, and our final award is the adult group nominees. First nominee is Marshall Clinic AmeriCorps members at Mead School. Excuse me. This group helps out as mentors and positive role models. They help students make healthy choices and improve the students' personal, social, excuse me. They create, social and academic success. They create over 40 individual student plans to help build developmental assets. They also develop case management plans for each child based on observational behavior. Each AmeriCorps member devotes a total of 1,700 hours per year. They start their day well before school starts and end their day many hours after the school day lets out. Our next nominee is Ministry Home Care Hospice 2011 Snowflake Ball Committee. This committee came together to raise additional funds to directly assist hospice patients and their families. Ministry Home Care Hospice provides service to anyone who qualifies for their services, regardless of their ability to pay. In 4 months, the committee researched and planned an elegant holiday event that was attended by over 200 people. They had a budget of $0, but wanted to set the ticket prices low so it's affordable to all. Over 765 total combined hours were devoted to this project. I wish you both could get an award after reading both of these, I really do. But the recipient of the 2012 Outstanding Volunteer Award group is the Marshall Clinic AmeriCorps members at Mead School.
Before I came up, and they're like, do you have anything to say? And I said no. It's really, I guess, speaking for all of us, an honor for us to be here. What we do at Mead School is really awesome, and we couldn't do it without the support of our principal and our site supervisor, who are sitting back there. They're awesome and support us in everything that we do, and I know for myself, it's so awesome to be able to be at school every day and love on these kids and give them something that they may not experience elsewhere. So it's just really an honor to be here, and it's awesome to work with all of these people. We have an awesome team, and they are incredible. So thank you very much.
That concludes the awards portion of this morning's program, so now I'm going to turn it back over to Terry for closing remarks.
Congratulations to all of our award winners and all of the nominees. All of you are making a huge difference in our communities. It's always amazing to hear about everyone and all of the work that they're doing, and no matter how many times, I haven't been here for all 21, but for all of them that I've been here, I still learn something new every year about the things that are going on in our community. And so it's a great pleasure to have you all here. Before we close, I'd like to thank a few organizations. The Wisconsin Rapids Daily Tribune and the Gannett Foundation sponsor this breakfast every year and have been for many years. And so I'd like Deb, if you would please stand. Deb is here from the Daily Tribune. We'd also like to thank the Hotel Mead for hosting today's event and the volunteers from River Cities Community Access for recording the event today. You can look in your program to see when the program will be aired on Community Access. We'd also like to thank the Volunteer Center Task Force, and the members of the task force who are here, if you would please stand. This group helps with this breakfast and also Day of Caring, which is a big event for us in the fall. And they also help guide the efforts of the Volunteer Center. So thank you for your time. I'd also like to thank the United Way Board of Directors who are in attendance, and if you would stand or raise your hand there so you can be recognized. The United Way Board helps support the Volunteer Center and also provides the funding to ensure its success. So thank you to those board members who are present. And lastly, we'd like to ask that all of the award recipients, if you would stay right at the end of the breakfast and come forward so that Angie can get a picture of you and also meet with Deb. She may have a few questions for you so that the local media can meet with you to talk to you about your award. At United Way, we care about what you think about the work that we're doing, and so we do ask, there are some evaluation forms. If you haven't had a chance to fill those out, we would ask you to do that. Give us your feedback. If you think that the breakfast is great or you think the breakfast stinks, I don't know. Tell us what you really think about it so that we can continue to make this program better every year. So really give us some information. Take a moment to fill out the evaluation. We would greatly appreciate that. And then in closing today, we would ask each of you to take with you one of the Live United mugs that are at the table if you would like one. And if you would look under your saucer for your cup, whoever has the sticker on their saucer takes home the floral arrangement in the middle of the table, which are put together for us by One Rose. So again, thank you for your time and thank you for joining us this morning.